You've probably heard me talking about this self-sufficient living skills bundle that's been going on, and I have been spending the last week flipping through so many of the incredible resources within this bundle. Now, I will say there's a lot. There's over 118 different ebooks and courses and lessons sharing incredible wisdom and knowledge with you so you can live off the land and you don't have to rely on this corrupt and broken system for everything for your family. Anyways, I wanted to share some of my favorite things. One, first off, is off-grid homeopathy. This course is loaded with so much incredible knowledge, talking about homeopathy for first aid, for colds and flu, how to make your own homeopathic remedies. Like, as an herbalist who loves to teach that stuff, that's pretty exciting to hear it in the homeopathy realm. There's also some incredible fermentation guides, so many other amazing herbal recipes and food recipes, and how to make your own sourdough bread, how to do your own organic gardening and canning of all of your foods. Really, there is so much. And yes, I know. I've talked about it a ton, but this entire bundle is only $50 right now until Sunday, March 24th. I'm sharing my herbal first aid skills, which is a course that's $47 on its own. I'm sharing recipes that I used when I got my products into REI for herbal first aid kits and so much more. You'll have to check it out. I'm serious. Like, you can absolutely change your life with this bundle. So there is a link in the show notes for you, and I hope you check it out. I hope you take advantage. Don't worry, you don't have to go through everything right away. You can access everything for up to a year. Once you're in the course or have the download, it's yours for life. It is a steal of a deal. Okay, self-sufficient living skills bundle in the links for you. Hey, I hope that with this wild summer of 2020, you are getting plenty of time outside to enjoy the summer sun and have a little bit of fun amongst all the chaos we've all been going through. I know that summer fun and sun can also result in bug bites and cuts and scrapes and bruising and sunburns and all the ouchies that come with having a good time outdoors. So in this episode, we're going to go over 6 of my favorite herbs that you can use to help soothe, heal, and regenerate your summer skin and all those gnarly ouchies. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome to the Herbalist's Path, where we're on a mission to inspire a movement where there's an herbalist in every home. Again, with your host, clinical herbalist, Melissa Mutterspaugh.
Hey, I know it's been a while since I've gotten an episode out to you, and I'm sorry about that. As you can imagine, with all the great changes happening in our world in 2020, I've had to shift and pivot everything in business and life and motherhood in all the quick and wild ways you can imagine. One thing, though, that I found for myself about getting this podcast out to you is that I absolutely love recording the episodes, but I just could not get myself to sit down and edit them. Just couldn't do it. But I'm really thrilled to say that I brought on a great friend and new partner, Sarah, to help me get these episodes edited and out to you so that we can together make herbalism #spread like wildflowers. Anyway, so how have you been? How has your summer been? Have you been getting to spend lots of time outside to help deal with all the stress and the madness, the mayhem, and the necessary changes that are happening? I know getting outside is totally what has saved me and my sanity throughout all of this. But let's face it, summertime in your skin, whether it's sunburn, bug bite, cuts, scrapes, bruises, random rashes, summertime can bring out the best or the absolute worst in your skin. Maybe it's just because you're exposing your skin more, or hopefully you're playing harder in the summer sun and you're just getting banged up with all the adventures that you're on. But sometimes
it can be painful, right? Or embarrassing, or just straight up suck. But thankfully, all of these sunshine-filled days also bring out the best in beautiful plant medicine. And there are quite a few herbs that can help you heal your summer skin. So I want to share a few of my favorite herbs with you that I love to keep around for all those cuts, the scrapes, the bug bites, the bee stings even, the sunburn. Hey, we all need a little help there, right? So the first friend I want to talk to you about is Calendula. Calendula, you are my friendula. Absolutely one of my favorite plants ever. She's just beautiful to look at and grow into your garden. And she's a total magical wonder when it comes to your skin issues. So she can be used for all kinds of inflammation of the skin. So if you see your skin is like red, that's typically a signal of heat, which is inflammation. You can use this calendula for wounds, bruising, those inflamed spots, bleeding, cuts, scrapes, and all of those little skin ouchies you're going to get when you're out hiking and camping and maybe even floating down the river. She's also a great antifungal. So if you're dealing with like athlete's foot or ringworm or other kinds of fungal infections, calendula is indeed your friendula as well. She's dynamite for first aid when it comes to minor burns, like around the campfire, and absolutely magical with your sunburns. So I definitely recommend, if you've got calendula growing around you this year, to go ahead and make yourself a calendula flower oil infusion and keep it with you all year long. So you can do that with dried calendula flowers if you want. You're just going to put them in a jar with the carrier oil of your choice. When it comes to skin oils, I like a lighter weight oil personally, so like an apricot or an almond oil is really nice. Coconut oil is really great too. You're going to let that infuse together for a couple of weeks. Sit it in a nice, warm, sunny window and shake it every day and sing to it if you want and tell it, Calendula, you are my friendula. And just love that medicine that's going to serve you for the next year or two if you want. I use calendula in our essential salve over at Mountain Mel's because of all the things it does for first aid and such. And we also use it in our afterburn, which is mostly for sunburn skincare, but happens to work for all kinds of other skincare, including regular old burns. We used it for diaper rash on our daughter and all kinds of cool things. So yeah, calendula, definitely a great friend to have around for all of your summer fun adventures. Another one that I love a lot is yarrow. And I love yarrow for many reasons. I love it because it grows like everywhere in the mountains around me. It really likes drier, rockier, kind of sandy soils. And it's just a heavenly, lovely plant. I feel like it's a great life-saving friend, especially when you're out hiking or camping far out in the wilderness, because it has the ability to stop bleeding. Meaning that, like, if you went somewhere totally epic and you accidentally cut yourself and you're just bleeding profusely and you know that yarrow is around you, you can use that plant, like its leaves and its flowers, mash them up gently and or not even gently, just enough to get those juices from the plant flowing, and put them on the spot where you're bleeding, and it will stop you from bleeding. Crazy enough, it can also do the exact opposite for women when they have stuck menses and you need the flow of blood to happen. Yarrow can help you there too. Yarrow has a lot of medicinal benefits, but we are just going to focus on skincare issues for this particular episode. earlier this year in June, I was out camping in the Central Oregon Cascades on this beautiful lake, and I was totally not using my knife safety skills, and I was doing the dishes, and I was washing my friend's knife and just sliced my finger open, and it immediately started dripping. And I remembered that just like 30 feet away from our camp kitchen, I had seen yarrow leaflets coming up, and I could recognize them because they almost look like a feather as they are growing. They have many teeny, tiny little feathered-like leaflets. And I went over and grabbed those leaflets. I mashed it up, and I put it on my dripping, bloody hand. And within seconds, my bleeding had stopped. And I have never seen a wound heal so quickly as that one did for me. No scarring, no anything. Like, it was darn near completely gone the next day. Totally wild, totally awesome. I love yarrow. Yeah, plants, they're just amazing. The other cool thing, like, with the yarrow to think about when you're out there in the wild and you're checking out those feathered leaflets, yarrow's Latin name is Achillea millefolium. And the Achillea, it's said that Achilles was dipped in his tea bath of yarrow by his heel, and that's how he was this great warrior to not be wounded. And then millefolium means 1,000 leaves or 1,000 leaflets. So look it up on Google, or I'm going to have a blog post on yarrow here in a minute too, and you can see the shapes of the leaves. It's a very, very specific thing. And once you get to know that plant well, you can know it by its scent as well. And there's a lot of things that I really think are important as I teach you about these plants that you can find in the wild, is to ensure that you are going out there and you are going to harvest in an ethical and sustainable fashion, and you never harvest more than a quarter of a plant stand, and you're very conscious and aware of your surroundings and the health of the plants you're looking at, and a myriad of other things that go into it. One of my first herbal teachers, a great teacher, Scott Close, has a great blog on ethical wildcrafting. I'd love for you to Google it. Scott Close, SCOTTKLOOS, and just ethical wildcrafting. I'm sure that you'll come right up with his article. He's also got a great book on the subject too. So if you're an herb book junkie like me, you should totally pick his book up. So another plant that I absolutely love for skincare. You notice the love I have for plants? I think I say I absolutely love like each and every one of them, but I can't help it. It's marshmallow. It's Althea officinalis. I've got a great affinity for it because my niece is named Althea, though absolutely not for the plant. It's for the Grateful Dead song. However, now every time I think of marshmallow, I think of that beautiful shining being. But marshmallow and skin, that's why we're here, right? So marshmallow is an extremely mucilaginous plant, meaning that it's cooling and coating to mucous membranes and tissues. So think dry or hot skin. You want like this slimy stuff that marshmallow root can produce to be put all over your skin. It's nice and emollient, so like moisturizing. So to get this slimy stuff I'm talking about, you would take some marshmallow root, take a jar about a quarter full of marshmallow root, add some warm water on top of there, and then place that into your refrigerator. It doesn't take a lot and it will go bad quickly, so like no need to make a giant batch. But the next morning, after you place that in your fridge, you will go to this jar and pull it out, and there is going to be this immense amount of slimy, ooey gooey, almost like snot stuff that is going to come from this cold infusion you've made. don't be afraid of the snot and slime. That snot and slime is your best friend. It's totally what's going to help you out. Let's say you got like just scorched by the sun and you're red, you're hot, your skin wants to peel, and marshmallow is going to just hug and coat and cool and soothe your skin like no other. Maybe you got like ashy, scaly skin. Marshmallow's a great friend there too. Marshmallow, Althea. It's super awesome. So that is 3 of the 6 plants that we're going to talk about. And now I would like to take a little bitty break for a commercial from our fine sponsor.
Hey, I wanted to take a quick pause to show some love and gratitude to our sponsors of the Herbalist Path podcast, who make this show possible for me and possible for you too. So here it goes. Medicinal mushrooms are all the rage these days, if you didn't know already. And with great reason, because they are powerful medicine that can improve your health and your life in so many different ways when they're well made. Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of stuff on the market that isn't going to be so effective. And that's why you need to find a brand that you can actually trust. For me, that brand is Whole Sun Wellness, and this is the creation of a brilliant woman and fellow mama, Jamie Bonfiglio. She's an international mushroom educator that has been working in the medicinal mushroom industry for years. And this is when she saw firsthand how many other companies take shortcuts when it comes to their products. And Jamie wasn't having it. She set out to build her company the right way. Whole Sun Wellness is here to raise the industry standards so those crap mushrooms on the market aren't getting into your body or your family's body. Whole Sun Wellness is the first company to test and report nutritional facts for all of their extracts. They go beyond industry standards every step of the way, from sourcing to extraction and final testing. And as the owners of the largest medicinal mushroom farm in the United States, Whole Sun Wellness is taking control of their supply chain for the highest quality and absolute full transparency. They're even the first company to include pure mycelium extract in every single product. So when you're thinking of getting medicinal mushrooms for you and your family, Whole Sun Wellness is exactly the ones you want. Also, be sure to check out their new Mycolites. These are the world's first dissolvable electrolyte tablets. They're featuring functional mushroom extracts that'll give you more energy, more stamina, and recovery as well. And who couldn't use all of that? The other thing is, they are these adorable little mushroom-shaped tablets, and they come in like a little Altoids box, but way cooler than Altoids, because they're Mycolites. Anyways, head to wholesunwellness.com to grab yourself some Mycolites and all of the other functional medicinal mushrooms that you and your family need. And of course, you can grab that link right here in the show notes now.
Hey, how you doing? You know, we're all in the same boat of crazy these days, with tons of unexpected stress. And now we have an election coming up and kids schooling at home, and, you know, going through global transitions is hard and it's downright stressful. Luckily, Mountain Mel's is here to help. We've got info just waiting for you on herbs that can help you melt away that stress au naturel. So, to get our free guide on herbs to ease stress and anxiety, sign up at mountainmels.com/pages/herbs to ease stress. Again, that's mountainmels.com/pages/herbs-to-ease-stress. And we'll get our free guide sent out directly to you. Now, go empower your inner herbalist.
So the next plant I want to talk about, you probably already know really, really well. For skincare issues, particularly sunburn, it's been all the rage forever, and it is aloe. I know you know aloe, right? But for good reason. It's like the holy grail of sunburn care in our world. And part of what makes aloe work so well is that it's really rich in this constituent called allantoin. And allantoin is really fantastic to help regenerate your skin cells. Bonus, right? So when you open up a leaflet of aloe, it's kind of ooey gooey and somewhat slimy, right? That's where all that good plant medicine, the allantoin, hangs out. Total magic slime. So aloe is going to help cool the inflammation. It's going to help heal your wounds, and it can help with ringworm and other fungal infections too. It does have some good antifungal properties. There's a giant list of all the things that aloe can do for you, as you know, both inside and out. It's a super easy plant to grow in your house, and you can just harvest the leaves as needed. Or you could take the gel from a leaflet. Maybe you harvested a leaf and you don't need that much of its medicine. You could take that gel out and kind of fillet it and freeze that into ice cubes so you can use it later. I mean, can you imagine ice cubes of aloe gel to soothe your sunburn on a hot summer day? Hello. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Hopefully you are too. So the next plant I want to share with you, I did a little article about. It's one of my absolute favorite herbs. It grows everywhere. I guarantee you it's within a block from you right now. It is plantain. Not the banana, it is Plantago major, a wild weed that loves sidewalk cracks and the sides of roads. And check out one of my other podcasts specifically just on plantain for all of the things it can do for you. The list is very, very long. But again, we're talking summer skincare issues, so we will jump on over to that. So I love plantain. I have used it to draw splinters and thorns out of my skin. Like this one time I had a rough and tough carpenter buddy over, and he was building a chicken coop for us, and he got a giant splinter in his hand, and he was like, oh, my splinter, you know. We were cooking him dinner, and I was like, oh, hold on, I'll go get some plantain tincture for you. And he's kind of looking at me like, oh, crazy hippie Mel, like, sure, this plant's going to help my splinter. And I give him a cotton ball with some tincture on it, and I tell him to hold it there for like 5 or 10 minutes. We proceed to hang out and have a good time. And 10 minutes later, I'm like, hey, how's your splinter? And he pulls the cotton ball off, and out comes this giant splinter from his skin. It was amazing. So like plantain's got this great ability to draw things out of the skin. I've gotten big old blackberry thorns out of my own skin. It's great for venom or infection, like venom from a snake bite or a spider bite or any kind of infected skin issues. Plantain is like your best friend. It's like the thing that I go to every time somebody's like, Mel, I have this issue. And I'm like, plantain. It's just amazing. It's also a really great demulcent, meaning that it's also coating and soothing to your mucosal tissues, like I had stated before, and really helps to reduce inflammation. It's awesome for minor burns, and it's great for your cuts. It's great for your scrapes. It's like, it is the jam. The cool thing about plantain, so I primarily use Plantago major. It's like broadleaf plantain, but there's also this lance leaf plantain, Plantago lanceolata. And I love this one in particular just because I love playing with kids outside, and I love to show them this plant when they get an ouchie, because it's inevitable. No matter where you're at, kids are going to get their ouchies, right? And you can take the Plantago lanceolata and use it just like you do with the Plantago major, the broadleaf, And then these long lance-shaped leaves make really great band-aids to wrap around the kiddo's fingers or hands or wherever their ouchie is. So it's super fun. It's a really great plant. I use it in my essential salve, and it could very well be one of the key pieces of magic in that. I also use it in my afterburn. We use it in our lip balms. Like, I love plantain. And I think you'll love plantain when you meet it too. So another great herb to think about when it comes to skincare and saving yourself during summertime from all the cuts, scrapes, bruises, wounds, and all that jazz is comfrey. It's a superhero when it comes to the wound healing and healing of scar tissue. So much like aloe, comfrey is very rich in the constituent of allantoin. So if you were to walk up to a big, beautiful comfrey plant and you were to break it off by the stem is just filled with that ooey gooey, mucilaginous, slimy goodness. And that slimy goodness, again, is where that allantoin is laying around and getting ready to help regenerate your skin cells. So it's magical. I mean, if you want, take that slime and rub it on your eyes and help with wrinkle prevention in life. Super, super great stuff. It's also very cooling and soothing for your sunburn or grill burnt or campfire burnt, wherever you're getting your burns. It's really great to make a poultice out of. So a poultice is just basically you mash up the plant matter so the juices are flowing really well outside of it, and then you wrap it around wherever your wound or injury may be. You can hold it in place just with your hand, or if you want it there longer and you want to use your hands, you can take a bandana or maybe some nylons or really whatever you've got around to get creative to keep that plant in place will work just fine. You can mash it up with your teeth. You can mash it up with the rocks, whatever you need. And it is just a truly, truly amazing plant. You do want to be careful with comfrey, and if your wound isn't pretty well cleaned out beforehand, it is so great at helping to regenerate those skin cells that you might end up trapping some infection in there. So, plantain helps get that infection out. Comfrey helps heal it. Plantain also helps heal it. But yeah, all a great list of super powered plants that are easy to grow, easy to find and harvest, and they will help your skin thrive through a summer of fun.
Wow, what a great chunk of knowledge we just heard. I love learning new things, especially better ways to take care of myself and my family. But if you're like me, I love the knowledge, but I'm often too busy to put it into practice, making my own salves and teas and such. Thank goodness, the lovely folks over at Mountain Mills are already doing it for me. Their herbal teas support my mind, body, and soul, and they taste great too. And their line of outdoor essential products supports my family's outdoor fun and quickens our recovery afterwards when we overdo it. So hop on over to mountainmills.com and use the code THP15 at checkout to receive a 15% discount, especially for listeners of The Herbalist's Path. That's THP15 for 15% off your order of delicious goodness today.
So hopefully you are going outside, you are camping, you are hiking, you are backpacking, biking, going and doing great things safely and at a distance from your friends and family, extended family. Hopefully you can keep your closest family close to you, because we all need some hugs and love these days. The plants will give you hugs and love too in special ways. So these are just some of my favorite plants. I hope that you are inspired to try some of these guys on your body one of these days. And if you're looking for an easier route to get some sustainable products for your summer adventures, you can always check out the Mountain Mills Outdoors Essential Kit, and you can save quite a bit of money with that. And if you love this podcast and found it informational, I would love it if you share it with your friends. Together, you and I can create a movement where there's an herbalist in every home again. And we can make herbalism #spread like wildflowers. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a beautiful day.
It has been so much fun and so, joyous watching all of my medicinal plant friends popping up in my garden, from the Aloe campaign to the Comfrey and the arnica. I love seeing these friends pop up. And if you are still trying to decide what to grow in your medicinal herb garden, you've got to grab my guide. It's all about the most essential herbs that every mom should know and should grow. So I teach you how to grow them and the many different ways that you can use them. If you want to grab the guide, go ahead. It's free, and I'm pretty sure you're going to get a lot of delight and use out of it. And there's a link to it in the show notes. I'm wishing you tons of happy medicine planting.